Hello everyone, today I'm going to be sharing with you some of these really quick and affordable DIYs that can spice up your room and make it look really girly just the way I like it. So I'm going to be sharing with you how I make this DIY perfume tray as well as these beautiful infinity flowers using everything from the dollar store, no wait times on Amazon orders or anything. I think they turned out amazing and I'm really happy with what they look like, and if you're interested, then keep on watching. Please do not forget to subscribe if you have not already, and let's get into it. Alright, so for the picture frame perfume tray, these are the items you're going to need. Very simple. So you're just going to want a frame that has a little bit of a protruding edge, so it looks like a tray. Then I also have some paper. You can use any contact paper. I just have this sparkly glittery one. You can use some marble styled one as well. Again, from the dollar store, only $2, so that's amazing. This also was from the dollar store, but this one was $4. Then you're just going to need a pair of scissors and an X-Acto knife. So starting off with the really easy perfume tray, all I did was take off the wrapping to my frame, and this is what it looks like. I think it's beautiful, and this gold looks really nice and complements the gold on the frame. You do want to make sure that when you're picking up a frame, it does have a glass or a plastic cover on top, as well as it's a little bit protruding, so a little bit outward, so it gives it more of like the tray illusion, and it just makes it look a lot nicer. So the next thing I'm doing is just turning it around and taking everything out from the frame. So I'm just going to grab a pair of scissors and I'm just going to lift up these little tabs just so I can take off the backing. After I have removed those little tabs or lifted up those little tabs, I'm going to remove everything out of the frame and I'm just going to put it to the side. You do want to keep some of the inside bits just so you can trace it onto your contact paper so you'll know exactly what size. So in my case, I used the wooden backing from the first backing that we took off, just because the roll is so stiff and it's so gimmicky to work with, and the board, like the wood board, was the only thing that would keep it flat. So I'm just taking one of the inside bits that I took out of the frame just to cut out a rough rectangle for myself, and then I am going to place that onto my wooden board because they are the exact same size, and then I just preferred doing it on the wooden board just because it was a lot more heavier and it made the paper sit a lot more flatter, so it was easier to cut around it. Then I'm just taking an X-Acto knife, and like you can see, I'm just doing it on a cardboard piece. So then I do go ahead and grab a wooden board just to put under. That made it a lot easier to cut it through. So next I'm just grabbing all of my pieces back just so I can assemble it. So I grabbed my frame and then I'm just going to place that glitter contact paper in it, and then I'm going to grab that backing and I'm also going to just place that as well. Just make sure you do this nice and clean so it looks cool, and I would just suggest to flip it over before you close everything up just to make sure that everything is exactly where you want it, and then just press back those backings back down. So this is what it turned out. I think it looked beautiful. I just placed a little thing of flowers and my perfumes on it, and I think it looks beautiful and exactly how I wanted it to look like on my dresser. So the next thing I am going to show you is how to make the eternal flower box thing. So you are going to need some circular boxes. You can also use square if you want. Look around your house and you might be able to find some around there. I'm also going to use some paint. You can use whatever color you want, but I did want to paint it white. So I'm just going to use a little sponge applicator to paint it. And then I'm going to be using this floral insert thing as well. It's a floral foam. You're supposed to be wetting them and putting it in for real flowers, but I'm obviously not going to wet it since I'm not putting real flowers in. It is my first time using it, and I'm going to cut it to the desired shape that I need for it to fit in. And then I have my flowers, so instead of ordering them off of Amazon like many of these videos, I did find these foam flowers from my dollar store, so I didn't have to wait for those Amazon shipping times or anything. I think they're beautiful. And then I also have this wrapping paper just to show you that you don't have to paint. You can also just use any wrapping paper you want, or tissue paper, just whatever print you like. And you can glue that around your box as well, and I think it looks really nice and chic. So I'm just grabbing my box and I'm going to start by painting the lid, and then I'm going to paint the actual box. So I'm really sorry, this frame for some reason filmed really out of focus, so it keeps going in and out of focus. So I am just putting the paint straight onto my lid, and I'm going to put it straight onto my box as well. I just think it's a little bit easier. Again, it is cardboard, so you do want to work really fast if your box is cardboard as well, because again, like when you put wet substance onto a cardboard, it does kind of fluff up and it does go a little bit bubbly, and you don't want that because then it makes it look a little bit cheaper, and that's not what we're going for. What we want is for it to look really expensive and really chic. So yeah, pay attention to these small details, and I'm sure enough people will always question where you got it from. But yes, I'm just going to continue painting this, and then I'm gonna let it dry. I'm also going to paint a little bit on the inside of the box, just so if anything does get missed, it doesn't look like it's just cardboard underneath. Next, I'm just repurposing that gold trim that we cut off from that perfume tray, and I'm just going to place it on the bottom of the lid just so everything goes together, and it also pulls in that gold touches from the rest of my room. Next, I'm just grabbing my foam, and I am just going to measure the box, and I'm just going to cut it up a little bit. And it was my first time using this, and surprisingly it cuts so much easier than I expected. I don't know why I thought it would be a lot harder to cut, and it didn't fit, so I'm just gonna cut the edges off a little bit just so it's a little bit more rounded from the edges. And then I'm just gonna grab my flowers. Man, these flowers are so beautiful. I'm so surprised that I was able to find these from my dollar store. They do have this metal rod thing in between, like the wire, and so they can be a little bit difficult to cut, but they are doable. I have done them during my brother's wedding as well when we made decorations, so I'm just gonna cut them all up, making sure that I have at least 1 to 2 inches of the wire still left underneath the flowers, just so it's easy for me to stick it into the foam, because if you cut it too short, you're gonna have a really difficult time to stick it in anywhere. So keep it a little bit longer. After I'm done, I'm just going to grab my box that has the foam in, and I'm just going to start from the middle of the foam and work my way around. You do want to push them all the way in, do it to your own style preference, but I just wanted them really flat. You can kind of protrude them from the middle too to give it that dimension, but I just wanted mine to be flat, so that's what I did. And I'm just going to go in circles, and I'm just going around and around and around until I'm satisfied with how they look. I did run short on a little bit of the flowers, so what I did was I just kind of covered it and spread them out a little bit. So yes, and then I'm just going to do some final touches and see where I like what flower, and I'm just going to rearrange them a little bit after, just to make sure that I'm super satisfied. One thing I think that would look really pretty is if you put a ribbon and tied it in a bow or something. I think would look really pretty, but I don't have a ribbon on hand, so I couldn't do that. But if I do get one, I will definitely do that in the future. So this is how they turned out. I think it looks beautiful in my room. I think it just went so well and perfectly in my room. It looks really girly and really chic, and it was so inexpensive. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video, and if you do recreate any of these, be sure to tag me on Instagram, which I will leave in the description below. And if you are not subscribed already, please do subscribe. I usually do nail videos, that's what my channel is all based around, but I do want to put in these DIYs time to time, so please, if you would like to, please do subscribe. And for all my returning subscribers, thank you so much. Until next time, bye.